Good morning, students. Only ERP9 with an GST enabled features. Last video, we learned about activation of tally, creation of IGST, SGST, CGST, and other tax related ledgers. And also, we created last lecture, we learned GST activation, creation of tax related duties, tax related ledgers, that is under duties and taxes group. Next, sundry debtor and creditors ledgers creation. In this video, we are going to learn about sales and purchase ledgers creation, compliance with GST, expenses and incomes ledgers without GST compliance, and creating service ledger with GST. As usually, we understand about GST with some basic concepts. Okay. GST is goods and services tax. It is indirect tax. It is a combination of state and central taxes. It was introduced in 1st July 2017. Almost all over India except Jammu and Kashmir. In Jammu and Kashmir, with a separate act, it was introduced. So there are 4 types of taxes in GST. That is CGST, central government goods and services tax. SGST, state government's GST. In total GST, SGST is half. In total GST 18%, central government portion is CGST is 9%. Okay, and in the same manner, UGST is there, Union Territory Goods and Services Tax. If the goods are manufactured in Union Territory and sold in Union Territory, then UGST as well as CGST is imposed. Both are 50-50%. IGST is taxed or imposed on the goods which were shipped from one state to the other state. Suppose from Telangana, turmeric was sent to Maharashtra, then IGST is imposed on that. So IGST is collected by the central government. Later, that portion will be shared with the state government. Is it clear? Right. Next, rates. GST rates are there. Zero rate is there. Nil rate is there. And as well as exempted goods are there. Non-GST rates are there. Again, we will understand RNR, revenue neutral rate, the rate of tax which is giving income to the state or central government, which is not less than the earlier tax laws. Supposed to understand, earlier central government is getting some income on tax, indirect tax. With the implementation of GST, the revenue should not less than that earlier amount. So, what rate if we applied, or what rate if we imposed tax rate when our tax income will match with that earlier income? That rate is called as a RNR, revenue neutral rate. The silent features of RNR is center and states are presently earning from indirect taxes, but with this RNR, center and state should have to earn the same income or more than that income, and no revenue loss to be to the exchequer. Government should not lose revenue with this RNR, and central government proposed R&R in between 16 to 27%. And the GST Council or Committee has suggested R&R 15 to 15.5%, which will match the revenue of state and central governments. States want higher R&R, but it may not be desirable. To increase the revenue, most of the state governments are getting income on beverages and petrol products and other taxes, that is direct indirect taxes. State government, their revenue source are taxes only, so that's why they proposed to increase the R&R. But if the tax is more, then that discourage the consumption as well as the trade. That's why less tax will increase the consumption as well as trade. Revenue will also increases. So R&R is the a rate which is state and central government are getting the income which is not less than the earlier tax laws. Next, in this video, we are going to learn about creating sales and purchase ledgers compliance with GST, creating expenses and income ledgers without GST compliance, creating a service ledger, that is, for example, we took auditing fees. For chartered accountant, audit fee is direct income. Okay, that we created in this learning video. Okay, so before that, we have to enable the GST features. What is the features button? F11 is a button for the company features. Press F11. Later F3 for statutory and taxation features, and enable the first two items. Enable goods and services tax, set and alter GST details. We should have to be set yes to these two items to enable the tally to compliance with the GST. Okay, so first we are going to create the ledger, sales ledger. So before that, we have to open the tally, gateway of tally, and click on the accounts info, click on ledgers, single create. Give the name of the ledger as a sales ledger and GST sales. Next one is under group is sales account. Net set the option inventory values are affected to yes, and each GST is applicable. Set the applicable. Set alter GST details that has no. Don't specify the details in GST details because GST rates specified in all items will automatically calculate the CGST, SGST as well as IGST. That's why here we have to set no. Okay, select the type of supply. By the default, it will be supply is set to goods. If your sales are services, then select the services. Press Ctrl A for save to save that ledger. Only one ledger, that is GST sale, will be created for all type of GST sales. If you are required, then you can create for sales 5%, sales 6%, sales 8%, like that also we can create. That is regarding the sales. Creation of sales voucher. You see here, sales GST and IGST under group sales accounts and type of supply. Here GST is applicable, we set yes applicable, and set alter GST details, we set it as a no, and type of supply, two options are there, goods and services. Here we selected goods. Next, purchase ledger, similar, same as a sales ledger. There nothing is there except selecting the group. Okay, and gateway of tally, accounts info, ledgers, create, name of the ledger is a purchase ledger. Here I mentioned sales. Here we have to write purchases. Select the purchases account, GST purchases. Select the group as purchase account and set inventory values affected. Yes. Then is the GST is applicable? Yes, you write applicable. But here set alter GST details. We have to set no. Okay. And same as earlier GST, specify the details in the GST details, because GST rate specified in all items will automatically calculate the CGST, SGST as well as IGST. So type of supply, select the goods, or services are there, select the goods. Press Ctrl A for saving the ledger. So only one ledger, that is GST purchase local, will be created for all type of GST purchases within the state. Okay. Then creating the third one. Second one, creating expenses and income ledgers without GST compliance. Very simple. Gateway of Tally, accounts info, ledgers, create, name of the ledger, either will be salary or purchases, salary or any other expense. Select the group that is comes under indirect expenses. Select the indirect income if we are creating the income. Inventory values affected, no. And GST we have to select not applicable here. Okay. It include accessible valuation for should be not applicable as white marked above. Okay. So we are creating the expenses without GST compliance. That's why we have to set not select not applicable. Press Ctrl A to create the all these sales, purchases, and expenses. We will learn by opening the tally and creating the ledgers. Okay. Look at the salaries. Salaries and staff expenses is a group, and the inventory value is affected. No. Type of ledger. Yeah, here they selected not applicable. Okay. Statutory information also. GST not applicable. Set alter GST details. No. That is the creation of expenses ledger. Okay. And coming to the service ledger. Next one is a service ledger. Service ledger, here we selected audit fee with 28%. In case of service oriented business like chartered accountant, lawyers, advertising agency, consultant, architects, they provide service to the customers and provide bill or invoice with the GST compliance. So Tally ERP9 provides accounting invoice with auto GST calculations, provided all service ledgers has to be created with the GST rate. Okay, the above service, all the ledgers, all the people, those who are giving the services, chartered accountants, lawyers, consultants, architects, for them we are paying the fees, or if they are receiving the consultancy fees, and they have to create a ledger account for that consultancy fee, advertisement, audit fees like that. So in this, we selected a ledger name as a audit fee. We have to create the ledger account audit fee under direct income. Chartered accountant is getting audit fee as direct income. Okay. And direct income with GST applicable, set our GST details. Yes. Type of supply, earlier we selected goods, but in this we are selecting service. Okay. We will see this how we created this audit fee in this screen. See that. Name audit fee under direct income. Here it is mentioned indirect income, but it is direct income. Inventory value is affected, no. Type of ledger is not applicable. But in statutory information, is GST applicable? We mentioned yes. Alter GST details, yes. Type of supply, okay. So in GST details, okay, we are selecting the name of the account, ledger account as audit fee. Description is a non-GST goods, no. Nature of transaction, here it is a sales for us, okay. Sales taxable, and the tax details. Taxability, it is taxable. Is the service charge applicable? Is a reverse charge applicable? No. And the tax types were given: integrated 28%, central 14, state 80, 14, this is 0. Okay, nature of transaction, we have to select sales taxable from the nature of transaction list, and sales exempt if the type of supply is exempted under the tax, under the GST. Okay, if we can select nil also if such items are exempted. That is good. Students, don't forget to subscribe this, and we will close this PPT and we will open the tally, and whatever the three items we learn. What are the three items we learn? One is creating sales purchase ledgers, creating expense ledger without GST compliance, and is creating service ledger with GST compliance. Okay. Right. Opening tally is open. I have to create a company. What is the shortcut key? Alt F3. Creation of company. Indra Travels. Khan and Co. is a chartered accountants. Okay. Telangana. All other details same as this. Right. Then control Q. The first item is creation of sales ledger. Ledger account. Create. GST sales. Under sales accounts. Is applicable? Is GST applicable? Yes. Set alter GST details? Yes. So which type it is? Sales taxable. These sales which we created is taxable. Integrated tax rate is 14%. Cess is integrated tax is 12%. Cess 0. So goods. For chartered accountant we are doing goods. Control. Purchases. GST purchases. Under purchase account, applicable. Set alter GST details. Purchases are taxable purchases. Purchases taxable. 12% integrated goods. Okay. So we created sales as well as purchases ledgers. Now we would like to create expenses. Let's create salaries under indirect expenses. This we know very well. Earlier we did same. Is not applicable. Include in assess value, GST not applicable. Without a GST compliance expenses. Okay. Then the last one is audit fee, service charges are income from services. You are going to create audit fee, direct income. No inventory values are affected. Applicable. Yes. Nature of transaction. Sales taxable is 28%. Okay, it is services, comes under services. So these are the three items which we learned in this video. Number one, sales and purchase ledger. Number two, expenses and income ledgers created. Income ledger we were not created, but we can create the same created. Another one is a service ledger, that is audit fee we created. Okay, student. So just look at the PPT which we learned earlier. We discussed three items: GST activation, tax ledgers creation, and parties, debtor and creditor parties. We learned in earlier video. In this video, we learned about how to create sales and purchase ledgers with compliance of GST, and expenses and incomes ledgers without compliance of without GST compliance, service ledger with compliance of GST. In this video, we learned about what is exactly GST, when it was adopted, how many types of GST are there, what are the rates presently GST Council is adopting, and the very good feature in GST is RNR. The government of India is setting the tax rates by keeping in mind about this RNR. What exactly RNR? Revenue neutral rate. So sales ledger creation, before sales ledger creation, enabling the tally, and sales ledger creation, purchase ledger creation, and expenses creation. Another one is service ledger creation, that is audit fee with 28%. These are the so students, don't forget to subscribe for getting the updates. So when you subscribe this, you will get updates before getting the video through links. You will view this, and once you got the video, again you can view the video and update 2 or 3 times when you view this video, then you can easily understand the basics. So why we selected GST? Tally is used in every shop or every business organization, and once it is using that, it is all in India. GST is adopted, tax is indirect tax, GST is adopted. That's why tally with GST, understanding the tally with GST will make us perfect in this scenario. And one more, we will understand what exactly the GST, which help us in next semester. We are having a theory and practice of GST paper is there. Okay. Okay, students. Still you have any doubts, you can message me regarding that. And don't forget to practice this and tally in your computer. Keeping the video beside and steps of this screenshot, steps of the screenshot. Keep this them beside with you and practice that. Okay, students. Bye.